What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Bolero. Sam here with the Sultan of Sando, Mr. Gab Lim. Wala muna tayong Mr. Mawiap for this week. He's on vacation. Gab, how was how was your day yesterday? Alam ko nanood ka din live.
What a painful loss for the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Pero, thank you to FEU
They're
and to
still
the UP,
alive.
UP Fighting Maroons. Thank you to UP and the FEU for getting key wins that keep the Blue Eagles alive, to keep our Ateneo Blue Eagles alive. Alam mo, lahat na lang ng stuff yung lahat na lang ng bricks are falling Ateneo's way except them winning games.
Yeah, they were shooting bricks
UP beat
3-point
UST by
line
1.
yesterday.
UP beat Adamson. Lasal, yung FEU, you beat Lasal. Everything is falling their way except them winning games. Shout out to our Blue
Parang
Eagles, man.
binibigay na sa kanila no? Parang ito na, kunin mo na. Kunin mo na, oh. Ayaw pa nila
just,
kunin.
just when we thought that they were out, they are still in. Ay, nako.
Grabe. We'll see. But
Ah.
talk about those big teams that won today. Let's talk about our sponsors for today.
Once again, this episode of Boleros is brought to you by our friends from Varsity Lifestyle Co., the official licensed merchandise of the UAAP. And if you're an FEU fan right now, you must be celebrating because they just kept their season alive with a big 1-point win over the De La Salle Green Archers. Uh, Despite all the odds against them, they pulled out this upset, and I'm sure they will want all your support. So what better way to show your support than by wearing some merch? Also for the UP fans, getting closer to securing the twice to beat advantage. Siguro a win or a loss by UST siguro would
Mm-hmm.
probably lock it in already. So
But at
it looks
least
that
lock
way.
na yung Final Four, di ba?
Yung at least lock na yung Final Four, both for NU, and for UP. Mukhang they're gonna be in the dance right after the season. So, if you want 10% off your order to represent your school, just use the code Boleros upon checkout and you'll get 10% off your order. Right? And if ever gusto nyo samahan yung fit nyo with some Boleros merch, we do have some caps, some new, the pink one. I think we're gonna produce soon, Sammy. Tama ba?
We're getting soon.
Yeah.
We're just waiting for the delivery.
Yes, we're just waiting for the delivery. I know some have gotten the beige, some have gotten the dark brown. Bagay sa fit, some contrast in colors because they're not representing any school. They're just representing Boleros.
Speaking of Boleros, to recap the games during the weekend, let's do one of our favorite segments here at Boleros. Let's do Ballers and Boleros of the week. Syempre, let's start with the good. Our baller of the week, baller of the weekend. I think there's an obvious choice here. You talked about that team. Who is going to be your first baller pick, Gab?
The FEU Tamaraws, without a doubt, I think gave us the best game of the weekend. Because what a game against the De La Salle Green Archers. Back and forth in the final few minutes. Back and forth throughout the entire game. Actually led big in the first half. Helped by a lot of missed free throws by the De La Salle Green Archers again. I
What
guess.
else is new? What
What else
else
is
is
new
new
for
for
the De La
Lasal?
Salle Green Archers? I think they missed 8 free throws with 4 out of 12. That's 33% in the first half. And they could have actually been within one possession if they just made the free throws. But anyway, the FEU Tamaraws pulled off a big win to keep their season alive. They are still in the race. Can you believe it, Sammy? How many teams? 4 teams are still in the race for the final four slot. Just incredibly crazy. For I think for the last final four slot, it's LaSalle, Ateneo, Adamson, and
Adamson,
FEU
FEU. Yeah.
still in the race. Every game matters. Crazy. There are a lot of scenarios that could happen, and FEU just stamped themselves into this Final Four race. And I have to give a shout out to Kirby Moncopa and John Ray Pasaol because I think those two were amazing earlier. They were playmaking. They were breaking down the LaSalle defense. Both of them. I think they in the first half, FEU had 14 assists. 10 of those came from Kirby Moncopa and John Ray Pasaol. I think they had
Mm-hmm.
5 each. They were
Mm-hmm.
playmaking. Kirby's shot was not falling, but he was definitely playmaking for others, and he was battling in the paint for for rebounds. I think he had a total of 10 rebounds in the whole game. Uh, Jan Ray just doing his thing, getting to the paint, spraying out the shooters. And again, FEU, this is a story now. They're getting bench production. Finally, Rojan Montemayor is finally showing up for the
Nabuhay.
past few games. Oh, like he was in a doghouse or not getting a ton of run in the first round or the first many games of season 88. But now he's showing up. Had big baskets, especially in the first quarter. Uh, being the guy in the dunker spot, being the guy in the corner, hustling, and I think and he was the primary defender also on Jacob Cortez. I think he fouls out also just defending Jacob Cortez, but he forced Jacob Cortez to 2 out of 14 shooting. That's big time. Uh,
Probably one of his worst games, would you say?
Probably
Jacob
one of
Cortez?
his worst, at least worst shooting games, Sam. He was still playmaking for his
Mm-hmm,
teammates,
mm-hmm.
but definitely the length of Rojan Montemayor bothered him. Luke Felipe hit three threes, was perfect from the 3 point line, and again, showing up big time, getting production from the bench. Jedrick Daa, I think is the most points he scored. At least I've seen him score in a
Hit
UAAP
a
game.
three.
Hit a three also from
Made his
the
threes.
corner. Yeah. So shout out to the FEU others. I mean, we all know the production that they're gonna get from
The
Konate, Pasok.
FEU others.
The FEU
I
others. I
like
mean,
that. Yeah,
Sam,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we call the LaSalle role players others. So
Yeah.
there are others also in FEU and they're showing up. Um, it's usually si Pasaol, si Konate, si Bautista, and si Moncopa who just carry the load for FEU. I think they're the highest scoring starting five in the whole UAAP. That tells a lot. But they got some bench production here. So shout out to the others for keeping FEU in this game. And I say in this game because they lost Mo Konate, I think, halfway or more than halfway through the third quarter. Mo Konate getting an offensive foul. I think hitting an elbow. I think it was to Abadam or to Goliena, and he got his fourth. And I thought that was gonna turn the tide in favor of LaSalle. But I think a few minutes later, Mike Phillips got his fourth. So tabla lang, but he did get a couple of baskets. Was trying to dominate without Mo Konate there, but he also got his fourth foul, and that essentially allowed FEU to keep the lead heading into the fourth quarter. I liked LaSalle's defensive intensity coming out of halftime. I don't think that was present in the first half, which was one of the reasons I think that they got down big against FEU. They were allowing a lot of easy baskets. Their press was being broken down over and over again in the first half. And in the third quarter, they just upped their defensive intensity. You combine that with the benching of Mo Konate due to foul trouble, and they eventually got back in this game. Uh, a shout out also to Bright Noango. I think was big time
Had a
in his
couple
few
of huge
minutes.
blocks.
3 huge blocks and 2 huge dunks. When was the last time you saw a Bright Noango dunk? Siguro no season 84 pa. Yung last
Marami
dunk
sa
ni Bright
mga
Noango.
comment section natin, mga Bright Noangco stands. So I'm sure they're happy. I'm sure they're happy with Bright's
Yeah.
performance, but not with LaSalle's performance, obviously.
Oh, definitely not. Um, for LaSalle, again, the first half, too many defensive breakdowns, and they just couldn't convert. I'll get to that later in our Bolero segment, but I have to give a shout out to FEU. Great win. Great win. And shout out also to Jorik. When LaSalle was making their run in the third quarter, Jorik caught fire.
Mamba
I think,
mode.
yeah, Steph Curry mode.
Mga mid-range. Pati yung mga
Oh,
mid-range niya, mga one-on-one mid-range niya, ang hirap nung tira pero
yeah.
pasok.
Diba? It gave me flashbacks to last season, first round against FEU.
Against
Remember uh, against
against
Ateneo?
Ateneo, I
Yung
think. Yeah, yeah,
overtime
yeah.
when he was just mid-ranging Ateneo to them, it was getting to the mid-range over and over again, just hitting shots. So, a bit of trauma there, Jorik. Langhiya ka. May trauma na ako against sa'yo eh. Pag kailangan mo Ateneo, naging Steph Curry ka, naging Mamba ka eh. So, yeah, Jorik, and a very funny call from, I think it was Isaac Go who was calling this
Isaac Go,
game.
yeah.
I think when Jorik scored his seventh and eighth point
Uh-huh,
of a
uh-huh.
mid range, si Isaac Go shouted, "No!" It's parang, huh? Why is he
Talagang he was
saying
so
that?
amazed eh, diba?
Oh,
Like
and
every
then
time he made a shot.
he followed it up. So, no, no way. He got it straight. Parang, nice bawi, Isaac Go. Nice bawi.
Pero
Really.
I agree with Isaac Go kasi yung mga tira niya parang that's a bad shot. Tapos biglang no 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 no. Yes! Biglang pasok eh, no? Like ibang klase itong si Joric Bautista.
Yeah, and I think he scored majority of his points in that third quarter. And then in the
Mhm.
fourth, it
Mhm.
was
Kept
just
them
Mo
alive.
Konate, Pasaol, and Moncopa eventually uh, getting this win. I think the game was tied and at 77, and then they found Pasaol for a corner three, knocked it down, big shot. Salle was able to take back the lead of I think two baskets from Luis Pablo, who also had a pretty good game in
Akala ko yun na yun eh, di ba? They
ako rin eh.
they got the lead with
They
like
got the
90
lead.
seconds left.
Yeah, they got the lead and they had multiple chances actually to extend this lead. I don't know if I'm remembering right, but yeah, uh, Mike Phillips got multiple offensive rebounds of one play,
Mhm.
diba?
Mhm.
And Lasal just couldn't hit a shot. Tapos, nung nakuha ni Kirby Moncopa yung bola, he threw it
He
away.
threw it away. Actually, it would have been a smart play. Hindi lang na control ni, was it Pasaol who was running
Pasaol or
down the
si
court?
Joric.
Yeah.
One of those. Diba? They were up by one. They just had to hold the ball. And Kirby threw a full court pass and it was intercepted, I think, by Goliena. Parang, what are you doing? Swerte sila because Makalalag had a wide open three. No, wide open. I think Konate was there to contest. But
But
he
it was a
had,
good shot. It
it was a
was
good
a
shot. It was a good look by Jacob. Some could have said that Jacob should have taken a shot, but that was the right play to make. It was Makalalag was open in the corner. He had been making those
the
throughout
only
the
three
entire.
he missed. The only three he
Yeah,
missed.
he had been making his threes the entire game. I think that was a good play by Jacob. Makalalag just missed, and that's the game. FEU made the big shots. Pasol with the three. Kirby Moncopa with the inside basket to give FEU that final lead. And LaSalle had a ton of chances. They did. They can't blame anyone but themselves. They missed their free throws and they had many shots to win this game, and they just couldn't deliver. They're now down to fourth at 6-5. I think UST is at third at 7-5. So, grabe no. If you're a UST fan, siguro a few days ago you were banging your head against your closet like, we're back at five. What's happening? Do we even make the final four? Siguro ngayon, yung nag-iinom mo na kayo, nag-cheers na kayo ng San Miguel beer niyo. Parang, yes! We're almost secured for the final four. And what a win, though, by the FEU Tamaraws. Mas lalo nagkagulo ang standing sa atin. Sami.
Yeah, so I agree with you. This is the obvious number one baller of the week or of the weekend for me. You mentioned it. I can't believe na this deep into the season they still have a chance or they're still in the running for a final four spot. Um, I don't think any of us expected them to be fighting up for a final four spot this late into the season. I know yung standing nila is they're still at the bottom pero they look better. If you just look at the team, they look way better than their record says kasi they've kept games close. They beat good teams, and I think what you if you're an FEU fan, this is all that you can ask for after everything that happened in the off season, losing your best player. Just having a chance to make it to the final four with a relatively young team, I think I would say is a success for them. More than that, yung record nila and yung like chance to make it to the final four, I think the vibes at FEU has been really good. Yung vibes nung team, 'di ba? This is a team that is made up of a lot of guys that came from FEU high school. This is, I think, one of the things that we always praise them about na they always build from high school and get their players there. And I think that's one of the reasons why ang ganda nung vibes nila. I see dun sa post game interview, ang kasama si Daa, si Pasaol, and si Mongkopa. And obviously, these guys have played with each other in
Yan
high
yung tropa
school,
ni
since
Earp.
high school.
Yan yung tropa ni Earp, di ba?
Tropa ni Earp. So, actually, na-mention nga ni Coach Sean yun. Sabi niya, it's too bad we're missing one guy. But, yan yung tropa nila. And if you guys haven't seen the post-game interview of FEU earlier, you have to watch it. Kasi, parang joke time lang. Hindi naman joke time, but like they were enjoying. They were definitely enjoying each other's company. Na the best
yung,
yung
yung gave me yung barkada ni Sakuragi vibes. Parang ganun.
pwede. The best and the best yung si Jedrick Daa, may nung tinanong siya nung question and then sabi niya, pakiulit po, pakiulit. Ang haba-haba nung question, to sabi niya, pakiulit po. Ano po ulit yun? Tawa ako ng tawa. So, you
They
guys should
seem
watch
like
it.
a good hang. Parang sarap nilang kasama.
Right? Right? And I think, Gab, that's contributing to like why they're overachieving as a team. They love being with each other. But we also have to credit Coach Sean Chambers. It seems like he's for keeps for FEU. This is only his second year, but he's really maximized yung players niya, and has even last year, I think they were in the running for Final Four slot until the last game or the last two games. So more or less like kind of
Yeah, they were
similar
eliminated by
situation
UP and I think they're
by
second to the
UP,
last
no?
game.
Correct. So, despite not having the biggest budget or the biggest superstars, they've been competing. So, kudos to Coach Sean. And even nung sa post-game interview nga, all the players credited Coach Sean. I think nagalit daw siya sa kanila nung after the game against NU and during practice. So, that sort of like really pushed the guys to step up. Last, I think the future looks bright for FEU. You have a solid young core. Jedrick Na is a sophomore. Si John Ray Pasaol is a sophomore. Si Mongkopa is a rookie, freshman. Uh, Konate is only in his second year. So, I'm not sure ilang years pa siya eligible. I think 5 years
Three
eligible
more.
ba siya. So,
We,
three more,
we, we
di
talked
ba?
about this. He has 5 full years to play.
5 full years. Oh, so the future looks bright. Yung core nila is there. We've talked about John Ray's sophomore season so far. Like if I guess if I wanna compare it to someone, parang SJ Belangel for me. You know how SJ Belangel was sort of erratic nung first year niya. He was frustrating. Kung Ateneo fan ka, medyo na-frustrate ka kay SJ nung first year. And then nung second year, parang, whoa, ibang player na to ah. This looks like a superstar guard in the making. That's been John Ray for me. And obviously, Kirby Moncopa has been, I feel like I still want to say he's underrated because he just keeps surprising me every time. Yung playmaking niya, you mentioned, especially nung first half, I think he ended up with 7 assists. Uh, he's so good. I wish I could have seen him and Pre play together in FEU. Um, I asked you before.
Huwag mo sabihin yan. Baka mag-play together sila sa
Baka mag-play together sa ibang school. Patayin ako ng FEU, wag naman. I asked you before we started recording, eligible ba si Kirby Moncopa for Rookie of the Year? Because, he deserves some I think consideration, obviously, si Colin Sakoe probably will get Rookie of the Year. But if Mongkopa is eligible, I think he definitely deserves a lot of
Ito
consideration.
yung problem sa amin, hindi natin alam yung rules ng UAP. Again, we've been harping on this. The UAAP should just make it publicly available their rules. I mean, what do they consider as a rookie? Is it someone fresh out of high school, freshman talaga in college? Because Kirby Moncopa's not a freshman. I mean, he did sit out, I think, 2 years. I think his fourth year in high school and then his first year in college, if I'm not
Right.
mistaken. So he's not technically a freshman, but
Matanda na
in
siya.
in all sense of the world, he is a rookie. His last time to play was in high school,
High
was
school.
in the
Yeah.
juniors division. So hindi ko alam yung rules eh. Like, if you're not a freshman, are you not considered a rookie? Like yung mga transferees, or is it because you haven't played in college, in the college level before? So that's why you're still considered a rookie, even if you're a sophomore, if you're a junior, if you're a senior, I don't know. So what's the definition? Like yung mga guys sa Team B na uh, 2 to 3 years doon sa Team B has never played UAP basketball, when they
That's a good
enter
point.
as a senior, are they considered
That's a
rookies?
good point.
So, I don't know. Sabi kanya ni, I don't know who was on the call. Yeah, si Isaac Go, that he is one of the favorites for Rookie of the Year. So, I was taken aback, like, what? He is considered a rookie?
Oo nga eh.
So,
Rookie pa pala siya. Okay.
yun nga eh. So, di ko alam eh.
That's a
Ang
good
alam
point.
ko lang, dati, pang true rookie is meaning you really came out of high school. Well, technically, si Kirby has come out of high school, but he did sit out because of injury. So, yun nga eh. Yun yung malabo. I don't know. Maybe someone, Sir Matt Lee, if you're watching this, maybe you could tell us, is Kirby Mokapos considered a rookie? What's the exact rule of the UAAP regarding this? But I don't think he's gonna win. I mean, I think it's Colin
Yeah.
Sakoe.
It's
So
Colin Sakoe might be rookie MVP. Actually, he has a
yeah,
chance.
he might be. So yun, don't know. To answer your question, Sammy, I don't know.
Yeah. So definitely, I think FEU top down, like the players, the coaches, the team, they deserve baller of the week. I think for me, if I were to pick another team, I have to go with UST for baller of the week. This weekend, this for the week. Obviously won their game against Ateneo yesterday. Probably one of their most important games of the season because they were the ones battling it out nung before they started, diba? They were the ones battling out that fourth spot. So, getting a win and giving Ateneo another loss dun sa win-loss column was a huge boost for UST. Colin Sakoe, again, is racking up stats. Looking like a, well, best FSA, but MVP for us. Boleros MVP. And merong stat na I think si Pong Docanes mentioned, si Sir Pong mentioned. It's the first time UST swept Ateneo in the elimination since in 27 years.
Since
I think it was
1998.
like 1998. So that's a long time. So nakakatawa because
Yun napaisip nga ako eh. Hindi ba sila nag-sweep last season? Parang oo nga
last
pala.
season wala
Hindi,
kasi
yung sa QPAV.
suspended si Tongkara.
Yeah.
I think the QPAV game. So yeah, that's so a huge win for UST also, like sweeping Ateneo for the first time in 27 years. And we talked about it. FEU getting that win today not only helped Ateneo have a chance, but it also helped UST go up over LaSalle. So UST is now in solo third. And that's another huge win for UST. So yun lang for me, big win for UST na Gab.
Yeah, I actually had as my baller of the weekend is Colin Sokowe and the revenge game specialist himself, Fortsky Padregao. 3 fouls in the first half was essentially non-existent, but his only baskets in the game came at the biggest moments, hitting back-to-back threes. One from the top of the key from Steph Curry land,
He kind
And
of did this nung first round din eh, di
he
ba?
did also. That's why I said revenge game specialist, Sammy. Revenge game specialist against Ateneo. Forsky shows up. He knows when to show up. But yeah, that was the turning point in the game. I think Ateneo had cut the lead to 4, then back-to-back threes from Forsky. One from the left, one from, as I said, from the top of the key, from Steph Curry range, and then one from the corner, extending the lead to 10. I think it was 59 to 49, or yeah, 59 to 49. And then finding Asido yung for a layup. Again, as Ateneo had cut the lead, I think to 6. Fortsky finds Asido, rolling to the basket for a layup. Then on the ensuing play, gets the offensive foul on an illegal screen by Divine Adili. Did he flop a bit? I think he did flop a bit, but it was a smart play. You gotta give him
Yeah.
that. It was a smart play. He
Chris
got the
Paul.
offensive foul on Divine Adili, and
Chris
that was
Paul
the
would
game.
be proud.
Chris Paul would be proud. Exactly. So, yeah, the box score might not have been impressive for Fordsky. I mean, 6 points, 2 out of 6 from the field, 1 rebound, 2 assists, but he made the biggest plays in the game just to put Ateneo at a comfortable distance away from UST in that fourth quarter. And Collins Akowe, impressive. I thought his discipline on defense was tremendous. He was not fouling. He was timing his block shots. I think he had 4 in the game, 4 huge blocks in the game. On the offensive end, he was not forcing it. He was patient at times. He did have some turnovers, which I think frustrated Pido. I saw Pido instructing him na easy muna, yung hold the ball or yung bring it out muna, then rotate. Don't try to make the home run plays. I think that's what Coach Pido was telling Collins. But he was very disciplined. I thought he played an amazing game. His defense, his interior defense definitely bothered Ateneo. Especially in that second half, when their threes were not going down, they were trying to get into the paint, but Collins was just an imposing presence inside. And very disciplined. To commit only 2 fouls and contesting you that many shots, uh, that is something I would never have thought possible for Collins Akowe. And consider me the biggest, I think I mentioned myself as a Bolero in our first round edition of this segment because I doubted Collins Akowe. Man, he just continued to impress me. The free throws leave a lot to be desired. As I said, as we all know, they fumbled that game against UP because of free throws. They missed 24 of them. I think he missed 10 of them. But in this game, missed
They were
only 3.
78%. As a
They
team, as a
were.
team. And
As a
ako
team,
only
yeah.
missed 3. So that was
Yeah.
also one of the reasons why they should be a baller. Kasi I think they at one point after that UP game, they were obviously the worst free throw shooting team. But so
Well,
I
if you missed 24,
48%, 45%, something like that. So shooting 78%. Wow, congrats. Congrats dun sa
yep.
increase nyo in percentage.
Yeah, but this was definitely a big game for Collins. If they were higher up in the standings, I would probably have him as one of my MVP favorites. But he is already one, despite just being at the third seed here. Currently, I think he played amazing yesterday, just controlling the paint, and Force just finished it off. Amazing win for UST.
Question lang, quick question for you, Gab. Assuming NU and UP make it, lock the top 2 positions. If you're UST, who would you rather face in the final 4 and try to beat twice?
Uh I I don't think that they would how should I say it? I don't think that they would try to entertain that thought, Sammy, because that is
I mean,
very
yeah.
dangerous. Kasi
Dangerous yun.
kung if they
Kasi
try
with
nila,
how close everything is, di ba?
kung try nila ibagsak sarili nila, they might fall out of
They
the
might,
Final Four. So I don't think
not
that's
this
something that
season.
I don't think that's something that they will entertain for themselves. For them, just take it game by game, try to win, just try to make it. Who the hell cares if you face NU or UP? Who cares? I don't think that they should care. They should just care to make it because if kung try nila magpalaglag, baka malaglag nga sila out of the path to the playoff
With
picture,
how
which is
close everything
yeah.
has been.
So
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna
yeah.
answer that question. I don't think
Okay,
that they
okay,
would care.
fine, fine, fine. Okay, let's move on to our Boleros picks. So, I think there are two teams
Wala ba
na
tayong
obvious.
honorable mentions or mamaya na
Mamaya, mamaya.
after?
Let's
Okay,
do
okay.
honorable mentions mamaya. Boleros muna tayo. I think there are two teams that are obvious Boleros this week, and I'm curious where you're going here, Gab.
Well, I'm gonna go to the game that I watched live, the Ateneo Blue Eagles. Sad as it's to say, but we're very real here on Boleros. We criticize Ateneo when we need to, and we praise Ateneo when we need to, and we had to criticize Ateneo. Um, they needed to win this game. That was plain and simple. They could have leapfrogged UST to fourth if they had won this. You know, UST would be down to 6-6. They would be 6-5. They would be at fourth. And this game was very winnable. They had a lot of wide open looks, especially in that first half. A ton of good looks. I think they were 0 of 10 in the first quarter. Open looks from three that they could not knock down, and they were in a good place. Honestly, in the first half, Kim Kai Ladi had two quick fouls. I think within the first 2 minutes of this game, was never seen from again in the first half. Divine Adili, I think halfway through the first quarter, got his second personal foul. He was subbed out. So Ateneo played majority of the first half without Ladi and Adili, and yet they were only down by I think 2 or 4 at the half. So I think they were in
Kung
a pretty
kung
good
Ateneo
position.
fan ka, you're happy with that, 'di ba?
Yeah, if you're an Ateneo fan and you were playing majority of the first half with Lars Fialvang and Drew Bongo at center or Josh Lazaro, I think you would take that. I think that's a good first half, and they were executing pretty well in the first half. I think a majority of their shots were within the offense, were within the system. They were getting to the basket. They were catching uh, UST in rotation. Uh, but in the second half, a little bit yung nawala yung defensive intensity ng Ateneo. I think that's why Coach Tab called a quick timeout. And I saw he berated them on the bench. The intensity was not there. It eventually picked up. But shooting 2 of 29 from 3-point range is downright crazy. Also, they shot 25 more field goals than UST. They shot 28% from the field.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. You
25
uh
more field goal attempts.
yep.
Oh.
They had a lot of second chance points. Um no, they had a lot of second chance opportunities. Sorry, not second chance points. They had a lot of second chance opportunities.
Magkaiba
But
'yun.
they, okay ba. But they were not converting. Frustrating, especially if you were there live because they were getting good shots. They were getting good looks. Some were just wide open and they were not hitting at all. Sakit, 6%, 7% from three. You're not gonna win with that, especially if you have Colin Sakoe patrolling the paint. You're not gonna win shooting 7% from the field, or to put it exactly, 6.9%. Nice. So they're definitely Bolero. Again, we said at the start of this episode, everything is uh, falling right for them, except for them winning the games. They're still in this. They're still in the race. They can still make it to fourth. Heck, even to third, they can still make it. But they have to win their games. Now they're now what 1-6 and starting 4-0. They're definitely up there for my Bolero of the season, and they're definitely a Bolero of the weekend. Um, there were a lot of plays earlier that also that I thought that they could have taken advantage of. Like there were times that Colin Sakoy was behind the play, like he was jogging back, and yet they didn't
Mhm,
attack the
mhm.
paint. Come on, you have to recognize when the 6'10" behemoth was not in the paint. So attack the paint. He was behind the play. There were a lot of plays like that. There were some shots that I thought si Dom Escobar or si Waki Espina could have taken, but they chose to give up, and it led to a lot of late shots, late contested shots. I thought once you get that open look, man, take it. Majority of those came within the offense. Sayang. It's sakit. Masakit as an Ateneo fan. I think a lot of my friends and fellow Ateneans are expressing their pain with this loss because very winnable. They were in this game, as I said, they were in a good position after the first half, but they could just not hit shots. Again, 6.9% from 3-point range, 2 out of 29. If you were there, you would know how many open looks they got, and they just could not knock it down. Sammy.
Yeah, I mean, uh, again, intro boy itong Ateneo was up 4-0, got everyone excited. It's been downhill since then. I think that's what's frustrating if you're an Ateneo fan. You sort of got excited. Um, may hope ka na. People thought they had a chance to maybe even be a dark horse top 2 team when they started out, but it hasn't gone their way ever since. Again, to be fair, Divine Adili has been injured the entire season. Charit Bahay hurt his shoulder, pero mahirap to like just blame it on the injuries, diba? I mean, other teams also have injured players. Like obviously LaSalle has lost their top 2 starters, but it's frustrating for Ateneo. And if you look at like the other teams that are there in the standings with them, specifically let's say a team like FEU, hindi din naman sila deep team, diba? Like FEU's not that deep just like Ateneo, but and FEU is lower than Ateneo, but for some reason, I don't know, it's just like you feel like FEU always has a chance. Pero sa Ateneo parang minsan frustrating eh. I think yung the way they lose to the teams. So yeah, I can't argue with you on that. Ateneo definitely has to be one of the Boleros of the weekend. Losing probably the most important game for them this season. But despite that, I guess kaya it's hard to be full on Bolero kasi they still have a chance. Again,
Yeah.
today they were given gifts from
They were given a
um,
lifeline
a
by
lifeline.
FEU and
By FEU
and their neighbors, the UP Fighting Maroons. They were
the
given a lifeline.
UP, which you know it was surprisingly close yung sa UP versus Adams. Akala mo tapos na, and then I think Torres and sino ba yung isa? Si
Si
Montebon
Materolon.
hit a 3. So yeah, they got lucky there. Obviously the other team for me that has to be a Bolero of the weekend is Ateneo's rival, the De La Salle Green Archers. This was a winnable game for LaSalle. LaSalle was already in number 3. If they won this game against FEU, they could have had a chance to still make the twice to beat, if I'm not mistaken. Especially since hindi pa nangyari yung UP versus Adamson game. But they lost by 1 point. And what's surprising here is the supporting cast was actually pretty good sa game na to. I think si
Abadam was on
Abadam
fire in the first
Abadam
half, in the
was,
first quarter.
yeah, Abadam had his moments. He was on fire nung first half. Si Makalalag kept hitting his threes. I think Makalalag also scored like 12, 14 points. Pablo has been solid. Yung usual contributions ni Pablo, even scored back-to-back baskets with like 2 minutes to go to give LaSalle the lead. And I thought that was going to be it. I thought LaSalle was going to win. Kines had his moments, I think, at the start ng first half. Even you talked about Bright Nuanco having his moments. Yung 2 monster dunks, the 3 blocks. So, if you look at like the entire team, everyone was sort of contributing. Hindi yung parang sometimes may struggle to get offense. Guys had their moments, uh, but they still lost. You also have to go back to the free throw shooting. The two worst free throw shooting teams, LaSalle
12
and
missed free
UST.
throws in a 1 point loss.
Exactly. Uh,
50% more painful than missing 24 free throws in a 1 point loss. So
'Di ba? 45% shooting today in a 1 point loss. Imagine, they only needed to make one to tie, two to win the game. That has to hurt. That has to hurt. And here's the thing. I was scrolling through social media, through my friends' pages, also yung mga posts ng mga tao on X. What sucks about this loss is maraming negative comments about Coach Topex. People getting tired of Coach Topex, maybe masyadong reliant on, let's say, his superstars. That's one. That's one of the common comments I got. The
ito
second
na
one
naman
is
tayo eh.
people hating on Jacob Cortez, which was surprising to me actually, but I saw a lot of negative comments on Jacob Cortez. So it's not just the loss that hurts for LaSalle, but also like the vibes. Unlike, let's say, FEU, diba? Sabi natin, it's all good vibes for FEU. So for me, LaSalle is also a big bolero for this weekend. Gab.
I actually had the player, and it was Jacob. I thought he was marked, checked by the FEU defense a while ago. Against shout out to Rojan yung Montemayor, making it very difficult for Jacob. And yung Ento Jedrick Daa, I think those are the two guys who alternated on him a
Mm-hmm.
while ago, forced him to 14% shooting. Uh, if Ateneo had not shot 6.9%, I think that would have been the worst percentage of the yung, of the weekend. But yeah, he was a marked man. Was not able to take advantage. I think he was forcing some shots, especially in the fourth quarter. Uh, Very difficult. I think this is one of his worst games of of the season. Again, the others contributed. Mike Phillips with 19 rebounds, 14 points.
Hindi ko pala na-mention si
You
Mike, yeah.
Yeah, you mentioned Abadam, you mentioned Makalalag, you mentioned Pablo. So the supporting cast was definitely there, but Jacob did not deliver. And I just find that the Topex criticism funny. We went from fire Topex, then when they won against UP, let's keep Topex. They won against UST. Yeah, the extension looks good right now. And then now we're back to we hate him. That's aliens, man. I'm sure I know so many of them in my lives. I know how much of a roller coaster their emotions are with regards to their basketball team. So it's just funny. For me, just keep him. I mean, he is a good coach. He is a championship coach. He can coach. I know. Again, there's this notion that he cannot coach. That's stupid. He can. Does he make questionable rotation decisions at times or questionable plays? Maybe. All coaches do. But I think LaSalle should stick with him. Again, they do have two big injuries that they're dealing with, so that gives him kind of a leeway. But again, I don't think LaSallians will care. It's just funny to me that they're now again frustrated with Topex after I think a few weeks ago they were pretty happy with Topex. So
Such is life. Okay, let's talk about our honorable mentions. Uh, Whether bowler or bolero, pili ka ng isa, Gab.
Baller, shout out to the UP Fighting Maroons. I thought pretty big win to solidify themselves for the twice to beat advantage. I think they only need to win one more on Wednesday against the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
Against
I don't like the
Ateneo.
Ateneo. I don't like Ateneo's chances. They're probably not. They're probably not gonna win against UP. But yeah, a lot of I would say some lucky plays went their way, especially that offensive rebound which bounced to Raylan Torres and he was wide open. Then Harold Alarcon was telling him, tira mo,
Tira
dito
mo,
ka
tira
magaling."
mo. And then, like, yung Adamson was just so confused. Nobody decided to guard him. Parang,
Yeah.
ano nangyari?
So I think that was the biggest shot of the game. By by Raylan Torres, and UP just pulled off a big win. They were up big. Adamson threatened. I think they got within three. I think that was the closest that they got. It was 56-53. Yeah. And then that's when the Raylan Torres three happened. I think, if I remember it correctly. But you have to give a shout out to them, their whole team, for making big plays. Si Gani Stevens, big offensive rebound, yung in the putback. Oh, yeah, na, he's now hitting his layups. I think Maui said that there were UP fans who were hating on Gani because he missed some gimmies against LaSalle in their loss. Now he's hitting them, so he's off the guy. He's been working his ass off the entire season. So, uh, yeah, I don't know what else there is to say. That it was a good win by UP. Finally, also a good Jerry Abadjano game. I think he's been struggling for a
Good
good
point.
majority of the second round already. A lot of that has to do with foul trouble because he does foul a lot. But big shots earlier from all of the UP Fighting Maroons, and they're probably gonna lock it up on Wednesday against Ateneo. Again, I'm not positive with Ateneo's chances to beat UP. We'll see, but I'm not positive. UP is just playing really well right now, and they look like the championship contender. They look like the team that I picked to win the championship. So kudos to them. Their defense is still top notch, and when they're shooting like that, uh, you gotta hand it to them. Just a funny note in this game, Adamson was 0 of from 3 point range, or 0 of 10 from 3 point range in the first quarter. But they did make three threes, Sammy. But all of them were not counted. The first three that they made, si Monte was stepping on the sideline. The
Oh,
shot went
really?
in. It wasn't counted. The second made three, it was kicked out to Ray Allen Torres, and he hit the
Mm.
three, but Cedric Mazano was stepping on the baseline, so that wasn't counted. The other ones, Francis Noruka was called for faking a foul. Ray Allen Torres also hit the three, but that also was not counted. So that was a funny note. They were whenever the game
That
when
could have been huge, diba? Like, if
I
with how
know
close the game was, diba?
whenever the shot was not live, that was when their threes were going in. But when the game was live, the threes were not going in the first quarter. In the first quarter, they eventually hit their threes. I think si Matt Erlonio caught fire in the second quarter and continued for the rest of the game. So Ray Allen Torres was awesome. But yeah, that was a funny note. They were breaking everything except for the shots that were not counted.
Speaking of the Fighting Maroons and the Adamson game, siguro yung honorable mention baller of the weekend ko is guys named Ray Allen Torres or Raylan Torres. The two Torres guys. I think Ray Allen Torres had one of his best games again. He's actually Ray Allen Torres is looks like the best guard for Adamson this
Oh,
season at
he is.
least.
I think we
Diba?
mentioned this in our last episode. I think he's their best player. He definitely
That's
looks
true.
like
That's
their
true.
best player.
So again, he top scored for this team today. He has looked really really good. He's been impressive. Despite the loss, I think yun yung isa sa mga key takeaways for Adamson fans is at least they kept it close. They almost won. Ray Allen Torres has been a revelation this season. You're still sort of hopeful with how close they got to this game. I think parang may chance pang Adamson, especially since I think they're going up against Ateneo also. They're one of their last few games is against Ateneo, so they get to surpass Ateneo. Raylan Torres, I just wanted to mention, he hit those clutch 5 straight points. So I think he hit the three first, na almost buzzer beating shot clock 3, and then the possession after that, or was it the possession before, he posted up Ray
And got a
Allen
fadeaway.
Torres
Got
and
a
got a
fadeaway.
fadeaway over Ray Allen Torres. So sabi niya, you're not. I'm also star Torres over here. You're not the only Torres over here. So shout out to both Torreses in this game. I think they're crucial for their team. So yun yung honorable mention baller ko din.
Also,
Yeah.
Sammy, the good thing with this UP win is it did not require a good big games from Alarcon or Remogan. Actually, Remogan was for majority of this game was bad. So see, Alarcon was struggling from the field. Give big credit to the Adamson defense from that. See the Earl Medina and see Manu Anabo and see Maui's boy Austin Renzone. I think had a big part in disrupting Remogat and Alarcon. But kudos to guys like Noruka Stevens, Abadjano, and yung Raylan Torres for stepping up and delivering this win. Again, they did not require big games from their big guns.
Grabe din yung dunk ni Noruka over ano no,
Oh
si
yeah, oh yung over Franceman. Uh,
Franzman. Although, to be fair, medyo off angle si Franzman, but that was crazy. That was crazy.
Crazy.
Honorable mention, Boleros? Anyone else?
Honorable mention,
Or
Boleros.
ballers, kung meron ka pa.
I gotta give some to the referees. Because
In general.
in yung, in general, again, what we want is consistency, and I did not see any consistency. I'm so sorry. In I just want to create an example. In the first quarter of the Ateneo UST game, they were calling it so tight. Everything was being called a foul, even throughout the first half. Again, in the first quarter of the Ateneo UST game, there were 13 fouls called, and it was really tight. Sabi ko, okay, they're gonna call the game tight, and then they suddenly laxed off of it. So they started allowing more physicality, and I'm like, what the hell? So now you're not calling it tight. It's crazy. Also, I still hate it that they can't challenge foul calls in the UAAP. I thought in the game a while ago, FEU against Salle, there was a very clean block by Luis Pablo. It was called a foul, and I thought that if we had a really FIBA based challenge system or NBA based challenge system, we could challenge fouls. That I think that would have been overturned. That was a pretty clean block by Pablo. What else? I thought you could have been challenged. The second foul of Divine Adili in the first quarter, he already let Collins Akowe through. He didn't even try to contest, and he was still called for the foul. I think that was crazy as well. There was also a call in the UP Adamson game, which was kind of crazy to me. I forgot what it was, but yeah, I think there were a couple of calls that I thought that could have been challenged and uh, could have gone the other way. But again, we could not challenge foul calls. I still don't understand why. Yun. Uh, it's I know you're complaining about the refs again. Nav is probably gonna get angry at me, saying that
Maganda yung pinost ni Navs, to be fair.
yeah, maganda yung pinost niya. But
niya.
of course, when you watch a ton of basketball over a course of a weekend, you get to notice the ups and downs of officiating in the UAAP. So yeah, consistency. We hope we get it. And also, runner up honorable mention Bolero, Sean Alter. He was receiving a ton of hype after the UE game. 6 out of 6 from the field. And I always was like, what? It was a blowout against UE. We're not playing anyone. Goes to this game as 1 rebound. Kudos to you, Sean Alter.
Ako, siguro honorable mention baller, si Ojerikre. Did not score a lot, but I feel like,
Alam mo, Sammy, gusto ko sana gawin siyang baller kasi ang dami yung big defensive plays,
di
dami
ba?
yung offensive
And
rebounds.
rebounds.
Pero, just, I think if you're Adamson fan, mapapasay ka na,
Mapaprustrate
bro,
ka rin eh, di ba?
just, just put it in the basket. I mean, ang dami mo offensive rebounds at you're just right there.
Right,
Or
right.
just dunk it, or I don't know. I think there's been a long ongoing frustration with OJ. He
With
makes some
Ojerika, yeah.
great
He's
rebounding
so
and
good on the
defensive.
defensive end
Ay,
and
di
the
ba?
rebounding. Pero yung
Di ba?
offense na lang eh. Like, it just needs to click. Like, putting the ball inside the ring.
Again, Sammy, I don't think it's ever gonna be there. They just have to live with it. That he just really gonna frustrate. He had 3 big blocks and huge blocks a while ago.
Huge blocks. And
Oh,
yung
yeah,
rebounds,
during
like, there
crunch
was
time
a...
when they were making a run.
And there was like a possession during crunch time din na parang they had like 3, 4 attempts, second chance points, second, third, fourth chances to like make a shot, but they didn't. But that was all because of Ojerika, like tipping the ball, rebounding the ball. Wala lang. Like, I know wala yung offense, but every time I see him like do big blocks or like yung ganung mga multiple chances at like getting a shot, I'm just like amazed. Gusto ko yung mga ganung mga rebounding highlights. I'm as a big man, as a guy who plays a big man, I love those rebounding highlights. So shout out to
I
Ojerika. Shout out to
I
Ojerika.
told you, he's really just Reggie Evans in Philippine basketball.
Na may
Diba? Just,
shot blocking. Mas may shot
yun na may
blocking naman
konting
talaga.
shot block. Siguro, I want to say Dennis Rodman, but Dennis Rodman is a whole other beast. But see, Reggie Evans, I think, is the best
Yeah.
comparison I could
Yeah.
give to OJ. It's just absolutely zero offense. Like, he's just right there. Just put it in.
Uy, nakaka-score naman si Reggie Evans. Grabe ka. Hindi na naman.
Yeah, wait, let's score like 2 points, 4 points, and then you see the box score. Oh, he grabbed 16 rebounds. What the
20
hell?
rebounds.
Oh, diba? Reggie
Grabe.
Evans.
So shout out to Ojerika. Yeah. I think that's it. Any last words before we go? Actually, nag 1 hour pa rin tayo.
Siyempre, yung masarap usapan pang basketball. Wild. Wild UAP. Still a lot of scenarios that could happen. We will definitely be here
That's true.
to continue watching. Again, si Maui's on vacation. Nandito pa rin kami ni Sam. Ipogi pa rin kami dalawa. Hindi ko alam kung no shave November ba. Pero si Sammy has never shaved this bigote. Ako, I don't think I've shaved in a couple of weeks. So you see our facial hairs grow the next couple of days. But yeah, the games on Wednesday, the games during the weekend is Salle UP. Next Saturday, Sammy, I think we'll definitely be having an episode right after that one. So
May
stay
Lasal
tuned to
Ateneo
Boleros.
pa, which is probably going to be an important game with how close the standings are right now between the two.
Depends. A lot of stuff has to happen. Both teams could actually be eliminated by next
Out.
week. So,
Out. Yeah, that's
and then they'll just be playing for pride.
Pride na
So
lang.
I don't know. Who knows? What a roller coaster it is for us yung of a season to everything. Diba? Grabe, ang dami nangyari since the first round. But this is the home stretch of the elimination round. Hopefully, we get more good games. We had a banger earlier, FEU versus LaSalle. So hopefully we get more.
All right, that's it for today's episode. If you haven't yet, please like our videos, share with your friends, subscribe, and comment down below your baller and boleros pick of this weekend. We'll see you again next time. Bye-bye. Maui, pasalubong namin. Thank you.